Basically, gluten comes from 3 grains. It's from wheat, barley, and rye. So those are the 3 grains that we need to stay away from in order to avoid gluten. So the obvious things that we think about when we think about those grains, we think about cakes and pastas and cereal and crackers, breads, those types of things. So those are the obvious. But less obvious is wheat that's used in the product, in other processed foods for food stabilizers, flavor enhancers, other ingredients that go beyond just your breads and cereals. So things like soy sauce, for example, Twizzlers candy, licorice, has wheat in it. Butterscotch baking chips has barley protein in it. So label reading is crucial. You really have to read every single label, and you have to read it every time. And if it doesn't say gluten-free, so if a label reads, doesn't say gluten-free, does that mean you can't eat it? Not necessarily. Thanks to the Food Allergy Labeling Consumer Protection Act, which was enacted in 2006, says that all of the top 8 allergens must be listed in plain English on the label. And of those top 8 allergens, wheat is one of them. So if wheat is used in any way, shape, or form in a product, it has to be listed either in parentheses next to the ingredient, like modified food starch, parentheses wheat, or under that contains statement, capital C, contains. So wheat in things like modified food starch, dextrin, seasoning, or other nebulous ingredients that we don't know where they are, where they came from, can no longer be a source coming from wheat without it being listed on the label. The other 2 grains, barley and rye, are not part of this law, but yet they're ingredients and they will be listed as such on the label as well. As I said with the butterscotch baking chips, that barley protein is listed. From barley comes an ingredient called malt. Malt is widely used in breakfast cereals, and why most rice or corn-based breakfast cereals are not okay. So regular Rice Krispies aren't okay, or regular cornflakes aren't okay, because of the malt. There's also another ingredient called brewer's yeast, which again comes from malt. So that can be a flavoring agent in some soup products or meat products. And the last one that you have to be concerned about is if the product is not labeled gluten-free, we need to stay away from oats. Oats can be highly contaminated in the field and milling and transportation process. So they can actually have wheat as part of the ingredient but not be listed. So only use an oat product that is actually labeled gluten-free.